During the first half of the semester, I took Sustainable Urbanism with Dr. Mahaffey, and in that class we had to read the book The Death and Life, have it upside down, The Death and Life of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs. And what amazes me the most is that even though this book was written back in 1961, what it says right here applies to today's design of cities. On her second chapter, Jane Jacobs mentions the four generators of diversity. These generators are a very important component of the book since they apply to the health and well-being of the ecosystem of the cities. The first one is the combination of mixed uses. This means, for example, here in Phoenix we see high-rises that have residences on top and commerce on the first floors. The second point she makes is short blocks. Short blocks allow the walkability in neighborhoods. Here in the US, we don't see many neighborhoods that are walkable, sadly. In Phoenix, for example, you need to drive around or to have a car to get around the city. And her third point was the dense concentration of people. The more dense an area is, the safer it gets. Per se, the more people you have, the higher is the probability someone is watching the streets or the block, preventing crimes or robberies, etc. And lastly, the mixture of buildings from different ages. If you go to ASU Tempe, the campus, you may see that ASU is good at mixing buildings from different ages. You can see old main or hidden library and combined with different buildings, like the ISTV 7 or 5, I don't know. This is very appealing for the users, eye-catching per se. So these are some of the generators of diversity that are mentioned in this book. And throughout the book, she mentions a lot of key concepts that apply to today's design of urban planning. Thank you.